Time for another coffee with Kilroy. Or what I like to call beverage in a... What? This isn't a book. This is a magazine. Well, I've done some paper issues of Coffee with Kilroy. I do have my beverage, which is coffee. And today, I'm breaking several traditions. I'm covering something that is not quite a book, and is not quite a insert or advertisement or catalog like I've done in the past on Coffee with Kilroy, but I am covering something that is a supplement or a expansion or an upgrade of sorts. And I'm covering it during Rome Week. All the games that I've covered this week, not counting the weekend, have had a emphasis on Rome or a focus on Rome or something to do with Rome. How does the C3i magazine, the new one, number 36, with Trevor Bender's Desert Victory, how does that have anything to do with Rome? Well, let me tell you, it has something to do inside the bag. And I have not even done a unbagging of this magazine yet. So this is kind of a prequel, preview of the C3i magazine, which I'll do proper, but I just got this in the mail, and it's Rome Week, and there is something in this box, or in this bag, that has to do with Rome. And it actually is a supplement to SPQR, part of the Great Battles of History. So let's get inside this bag. Oh, let me get some coffee first. Let's get inside this bag and see what it could be. Never done this before. I'm doing a preview of what's in the bag. So let's pull this out here. You're getting a sneak peek. I will have to do this proper at a later date. Look at all that good stuff in there. All that good stuff that you cannot or not supposed to look at. And there we have it. And there we have it. And actually, there we have some of it as well. But let us move that off into the sunset, so to speak, and take a look at what's in this bag that has to do with Rome Week. And you know what? Let's go a little bit closer in because I want to get a close-up look at this. So this is SPQR Game Variant. Game design is Richard Berg and Mark Herman. The art director is Roger McGowan, who is the publisher of C3i magazine. This is Skirmishers, Velites, and Light Troop Revisited. This is a game variant by Fabio Bernardini. I know I'll butcher that. And this is a C3i SPQR game variant. Optional rules for light troops, updated victory conditions for light troops, and updated SPQR player aid card here, okay? So let's take a look inside here. And it's going to tell you what is intended by this variant and kind of give you some of the background there. And then it's going to go into what is the variant. So basically what they're doing here is they're kind of changing how skirmishers, velites, and light troops are treated and kind of updating them. And there is going to be, I believe these counters here are updates to it, Fabio's SPQR light troops. So kind of changing the classification or a categorization of some of these troops and updating them in this variant. And so it's going to go into basically downgrading the Roman light troops from LI to SK was arguably the most daring step taken by Dan. He's continuing on with an article. I'm catching it midstream here. but it's talking about kind of the thought process for this whole change. And the Dan he's talking about is Dan Forney, who's done a lot on the Great Battles of History system. So we're talking about Velites, if I'm pronouncing that wrong, I'm probably slingers, African light infantry and medium infantry, Moorish archers, and what the changes are there. And then you've got this they kind of did the math for you here. This is the table 2 slope effect on impact. And so you've got, they talked about the trajectories and the like. And so basically what they're trying to do is add a little bit more realism to how these different troops actually performed in historical terms, and classifying them to the right classification or as light troops here. This is how this affects play balance. Talks about that. And then it has some optional rules for light troops. This is taking these rules for standard Great Battles of History, and then they also do the same for simple Great Battles of History, these optional rules. And so they're basically telling you how to treat Velites and Samnite light infantry, slingers, African infantry, Moorish and Numidian archers, what is the different treatment for them based on this change or this revision. And so it's going to affect some of the different battles. Here's SPQR basic game battles and how that changes in each one of those battles. Because, they were set with the way those counters were for that battle. Now you've got to kind of change that up and treat them a little bit different for both, the route points and the like on there, and total TQ. And so this is all the different battles that they've identified. I think these are just the ones from the basic game. So I wonder if this is just I have the SPQR Deluxe Edition here. So I wonder if this is just covering all those battles there, but tells you some of the different, how the victory conditions change for those battles based on this change of the troops. And down to the last one here. So quite a few battles are revisited there. And not only do you get this little game variant, but you also get a new player aid here, and it's a, fold out. So you've got how those troops are now treated for missile and range results, Roman camp terrain effects, the Clash of Spears and Sword chart, which, is part of the combat system of determining that before you go to the other charts, shock superiority, shock combat results, and then leadership checks and leadership casualties. So basically, they're replacing that game insert, but updating it for how they change the effects of each one of these troops. So how the skirmishers, Velites, light troops, how they are changed based on, kind of this, revisiting them and trying to make them a little bit more perform a little bit closer to what these people think they should perform in history. So interesting little read here. If you've got SPQR, this is something that you want to add to it. And you can use it as an optional rule. You don't have to use this, but if you want to use it for those battles that have these kind of troops, you've got something here to chew on here and to add to the game. There's not a lot of rules here. There's just a few changes, and again, I think are some new counters that you can use as well. Take a look at them there. And there you have it. So this does fit right into Rome Week. This is I ordered this and just got this today. Wasn't planning on adding it to Rome Week, but I knew this was in here and had not had a chance to really take a look at this yet. So wanted to pull this out, take a look at it with you. This is the first time I've looked at it, so I might be a little incorrect on how some of this plays out. But once I read this, I will know. And if I got time, I'll share that with you as well. But there you have it, a little preview of C3i magazine number 36. I'll do a proper unbagging with everything in it, including probably this too, to show everything that's in there. But this is, going to stand on its own as a video for Rome Week. Love to know your thoughts on this, on this change. Is this something that's even necessary, or is this something that you really don't want to hassle with and add to SPQR? Or are you a completist and want to try to add as much realism, whatever that is, or complexity, whatever that is, to the game, or Chrome, whatever you want to call it? Then this is something you might be interested in. So there you have it. Thanks for stopping by. I'd love to know your thoughts on this or anything else you want to talk about. Just keep it civil and have a good one. Thanks for watching.